Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the End Zone Enthusiast Week 10. People, we are in double-digit weeks now. And I'd like to say that things are getting a little bit clearer, but this week again, a lot of fluctuation there. Basically, just want to give you a quick heads up here. We started out the weekend at 88 and 46 with our picks. Well, we went a horrible 8 and 6, the worst I've ever done. And to be honest with you, it could have been worse. There's a couple picks, with Tampa losing, the New England was that one you could pick. But did anybody get Miami and beating Buffalo? I don't think anybody did at this point here. But we are talking the power rankings in this episode. And if you're new to the channel, why are we the End Zone Enthusiasts? Well, we are roller coaster enthusiasts who also love the NFL. And every time I have a new shirt, this one is of my home park, Wildcats Revenge, which is an RMC, Rocky Mountain Construction, revamp of their first GCI coaster called Wildcat. If you're interested in roller coasters or amusement parks, check out our main channel, 125 Roller Coaster Challenge. That is basically 7,300 subscribers there. Here we got, we're hoping for double digits by the end of the year. But everybody who's watching this video, I want to thank you so much there. But enough about me, enough about roller coasters here. We are currently at 96 and 52 with our picks, but we're here to talk about the power rankings, which if you're new, top 10 with 2 honorable mentions. So before we get into the meat of things, let's talk about honorable mentions. And the first one is the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens were 1-5, and they were not looking good at all. Their defense was horrible, but they have won the last 3 games in a row. And the one they won this week was huge, beating the Minnesota Vikings, because both teams were kind of on that cuffs where they stay or where they go is what I think I called that game, because basically if you won it, you're moving forward. But if you lose it, you might actually be out of the playoffs. And that's kind of what happened there. Minnesota lost, and they are now at the bottom of the NFC North, looking up at 3 teams that could probably beat them any given day. Meanwhile, Baltimore also got some luck there with Pittsburgh losing, and not even losing close. They got their butt handed to them by the Chargers. And because of that, they are actually 4-5, but only 1 game out of the AFC North. The AFC North became the AFC South, where basically, or the NFC South, where one team goes through because the division's so bad, kind of like how the Eagles are here. But here, every team is so bad that Cincinnati, even after those 2 horrible losses the last 2 weeks, and they had a bye week, are still only 2 games out of first place. So this division, nobody's taking the ball and running with it. They're all kind of fumbling it, but Baltimore's getting the honorable mention because they at least have won 3 in a row, and they're crawling out, and they have some winnable games coming up. There's a good chance that by the end of November, they're going to be yet again in charge of the NFC North. And the other honorable mention we I got to give them props here, the Chicago Bears. Now, the Chicago Bears had a game that, where is it? I can never find, there it is. They had a game against the Giants, and they should have handled the Giants right off the bat, because the Giants do not have Scatterboo. They do not have Neighbors, a lot of issues and stuff like that. But they were losing most of this game pretty much until Dart went out. Once Dart went out, you got 14 points by Chicago. Sorry about the yawning there. 14 points out by Chicago, and they ended up taking that game. And that game did 2 things. First of all, they got the Giants losing a game in that fashion, said that's enough with Brian Daboll. You're gone. They have a new coach. But the other thing they did too was actually, with Green Bay losing to Philadelphia this week, they actually leapfrogged Green Bay. So right now in second place in the NFC North, even though most people would think Green Bay is the better team, right now it is the Bears. They're not winning pretty, but they are winning. And that's why they're getting an honorable mention. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but honorable mention doesn't mean you're number 11 or 12. Just means the people that caught my eye, ones that are outside there, but they're moving and shaking. And that's what we got there. Now, we're going to, before we jump into our top 10, we got to say who dropped out. And the first team to drop out was the Carolina Panthers. We had hope. I had you as an honorable mention last week because literally you beat Green Bay, but you came back and you got your butt handed to you by the Saints. You lost to the Saints. What are you? That's simple as that. Carolina, what are you? Because I have no idea what you are anymore, because You can beat the Green Bay Packers, but then you lose to the Saints, to a rookie quarterback who's been in college for 27 years. Amazing. So, Carolina, you might have peaked that honorable mention. You still are in second place in the South, but I don't know what you are. And because of that, I can't put you in the top 10. Next team to drop out was the Minnesota Vikings. You know what? They lost to Baltimore. And like I said, that was a should they stay or should they go game there. And they had a great win against Detroit. But then you go there, you lose to Baltimore. I don't have room for you right now. You would have basically been another honorable mention. Definitely not top 10. Okay, I am tired of yawning here, guys. I'm so sorry. Red Bull time. Gotta love this time of year. It's windy, it's rainy, it's cold. So don't sleep well during that time. But going back to Minnesota, should you stay or should you go? You lost to Baltimore. You're right now in last place in the North. So because of that, I can't keep you in there. And the last one who dropped out, and this one hurts. This one hurts because if you watch any of our videos, you know I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan by birth. I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan by choice. And I have a soft spot for the Buffalo Bills because my daughter, Ari, lives in the Buffalo area. So, Buffalo, I can't keep you in. You're 3 games back now of the New England Patriots. Now, you're in second place, but that's just because Miami and the Jets are so horrible. The truth of the matter is, there's no way you should have lost to Miami. And let's be honest, it wasn't like you lost to a last-minute field goal or there was a fluke play that they dominated you. You come back off the bye. No, you weren't on the bye, but you're there. You came off that huge win with Kansas City. That's what it was. And what a letdown. You did not show up at all. And because of that, I can't keep you I can't call you a top 10 team. If you're losing to Miami and you're 3 games back of your division, I really can't put you in the top 10. And that really hurts because I do love Josh Allen. I do love everything about that team. Josh Allen's my quarterback in so many fantasy leagues, but the reality is you choked and you're going to have to fight because, like, yet again, you need the Patriots to fall down for you to get that bye week. At one point, you were flying high. You beat Baltimore. You beat Kansas City. You should be right now the number 1 seed in the AFC, and you're in second place, 3 games behind in your division. Buffalo, you got to slap out of it. And tomorrow when we do our picks, I don't know if I'm going to pick you automatically like I used to. You got to show me something. All right, so that brings us to our top 10. And our top 10, just hanging in at the top 10, is one of my favorite teams, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Tampa Bay had a critical game this week against the New England Patriots. These were 2 of the number 1 and number 1 in their divisions here, in their divisions. And this was a marquee matchup. This was a 1:00 game that should have been the 5:00 game. So you get there, 2 teams going head to head here, and Tampa, you just didn't look good. You'd have flashes, but the running attack without Bucky, what is wrong with Bucky? I got to know what's wrong with Bucky because I just keep saying, he's out. Oh, he's out. Oh, he's out. What's the injury? Is this another Christian McCaffrey thing where I'm like, he's not on the IR, but don't put him in your fantasy team? Because I actually had him in my fantasy team until 12:50 before the game started, before I finally realized he's not coming back. And every week they're like, well, Bucky should be coming back. Is Bucky coming back or not? Because your running attack, you're looking for Bucky. You don't have Bucky. No offense to White or any of the other running backs, but you're not Bucky. And that is killing you because that eliminates so many options. And also Godwin. Seriously, Godwin, you played 2 games? You're all out most, because of your injury at the end of the year. Last year, you come back. Tampa Bay needs you. The only thing keeping them, they're 6-3, so it's not the sky's falling. They're at 750 win percentage. But still, if you want to get a good seeding, if you want to get more than 1 home game, you were in second place in the conference. For you to keep that up, man, you gotta start winning these games. The defense does what they have to do. Baker can only do so much. At this point, we need you guys to get healthy. And because you're not getting healthy, and because we still don't know, right now, I think he's doubtful. He's doubtful now. He's not out. Bucky's not out. He's just doubtful, Well, you know what? I need more than that. So Tampa, you're 6-3. You're winning your division. You're right on the precipice. You've got to decide if you're going to be a top 2 team, top 3 team, or you're just going to limp into the playoffs like you historically do, and then struggle in the first round and then never get another home game. Tampa, you got to show me more. Number 9. This was a tough position for me. It went with the San Francisco 49ers, even though the Niners lost to the LA Rams. And let me tell you why. So one of the main reasons why is because I couldn't justify giving it to Green Bay. I couldn't justify giving it to Kansas City or Jacksonville or other second place teams. To me, the Bears, they still got to show me more there. So I think San Francisco deserves a spot. Now, San Francisco is 7-3. Nothing. No, 6-4. 6-4. Nothing to sneeze at. Nothing to sneeze at, especially with all the injuries. But I do think that if they get into the playoffs, they're going to be limping in at a 6 or 7 seed, and they're going to get knocked out in the first round unless they get healthier. All right. They need wide receivers here. I don't know. And that's the other thing, too. I don't know who's better. Is it Mac Jones or is it Brock Purdy? I know he's getting paid better, but I don't know what direction to go. But the reality is you actually went up a spot because Tampa fell back so far because you did lose and you were pretty much dominating that game. However, I do believe the Rams are one of the top 2 teams in the conference. So because of that, I knocked it down a little bit. I put you above Tampa Bay because I think the Tampa Bay loss was worse. But San Francisco, you can't just keep relying on McCaffrey. You need, CMC can do so much, but you need to start opening up a little bit more there. And hopefully I understand this week they did not get a catastrophic injury. So that's a win. And because of that, I'm keeping you at number 9. But also because I couldn't find another team that I thought would fit there. Green Bay, no. And, some of the other teams, no. So you got there kind of by default. Number 8. And you know what? This team, I don't give much love to. I had them completely out last week, even though they won. And it's the LA Chargers. The Chargers keep moving forward and moving back, moving forward, moving back, moving forward, moving back. And the reality is, looking right here, they dominated Pittsburgh, who the week before dominated Indianapolis. They are currently, their record is 7-3. They are in second place in their division, but they keep getting ground on Kansas City. And that's the key at this point. Denver and Chargers are going to have to go head to head, but I think they're both united in just keep winning. Don't give Kansas City the division. So they did their job. They went in there and they beat Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh going into it, they are the top team in the North. And they had a lot to play for Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh looked horrible. Their offense was pathetic. And their defense did fairly well. But like I said, after a while, the defense can't keep – if you keep giving them 3 and outs, the defense can't keep up with that there. And, of course, Keenan Allen beating Antonio Gates there. That was beautiful. Loved it. Could not ask for a better person to get that. Would have got it last year if they didn't trade him. Kind of think they probably should have never traded him, but you know what? He's back and he's lighting up. And I think the reason why he's back is because Mike Williams retired. I really think that's the reason why. When Mike Williams retired, Keenan was still hanging out there. But he has a great rapport with Herbert, and it's great. All in all, Chargers, you're going to the playoffs. I really believe you're going to the playoffs. Are you going to have the division? Because I think you do win your games a little bit prettier than Denver, but Denver in that fourth quarter, lights out. So we're going to see, but I have you here at number 8. I think it's a good spot for you. Let me know in the comments if you agree, but I think they are number 8. Number 7, going up 2 spots, is the Detroit Lions. And the Detroit Lions this week beat up on the beat up. They beat up on the Washington Commanders. And that really didn't show me much. And the fact that the week before they lost to Minnesota, I still can't put you in the top 5. However, I do think on any given Sunday, they can win. They can win. They can win big. So because of that, I'm kind of looking back thinking, you know what? I'm feeling good about them. They get another quality win in the next week or two, especially next week. If they beat the Eagles, because they have the Sunday night game against the Eagles, they beat the Eagles, you're jumping right into the top 5 again. But like I said, it's funny. You kind of win the games you should, and then you kind of lose the games that are a challenge. And, like I said, you lost to Kansas City, and you lost to Green Bay, and then you lost to Minnesota, which is the one that kind of dropped you down there. But the Eagles, they're formidable. They're the Super Bowl champs. They're looking somewhat good. They're looking great on defense. Offense, a little shaky last week, yesterday. But all in all, like I said, Detroit, you beat the Eagles, you're back in the top 5. If you lose to the Eagles, you're probably still going to be in the top 10. Number 6. And yes, they won. They righted the ship over in, I believe they're in Germany, Berlin, Germany there. They beat the Atlanta Falcons, but Indianapolis, games are getting tougher. Pittsburgh might have opened up the floor plan for people to know how to beat you. However, as long as you have Jonathan Taylor, you're going to be in the top 10, and you're going to be, I think you're still the number 1 seed right now, or your number 2 seed. So you are definitely like dominating the AFC in so many levels. My issue is you're playing a lot of weaker teams like Atlanta. We don't know who Atlanta is. They seem to be the better Atlanta overseas, but you don't know who you're getting every week there. I got to see you beat the Buffalo Bills. I got to see you beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I got to see you beat Baltimore. I got to see you beat, the ones that you're not supposed to beat. But all in all, like I said, you're right outside the top 10 there. A victory is a victory. And what are you? You guys are 8-2. Not many teams are 8-2. There's only one other team, 2 other teams that are 8-2. So you're in the top 3 there. But all in all, as long as you have Jonathan Taylor, you're in the game. But I got to see a little bit more with Danny Dimes. I think he's been kind of, if it wasn't for Tyler, I should know it. It was a Penn Stater. The tight end there, your passing attack is pretty questionable there. You haven't been getting into Pittman as much. I know because I had him in fantasy. You guys spread the ball out a little bit more here, but yet again, all in all, you guys are number 6. Now it's time for the top 10. And this one, the team actually dropped down 3 spots. It's the Denver Broncos. And the reason is, what were you doing with Vegas? Vegas is a team, like I said, you didn't lose like Buffalo did to Miami, but Vegas should have been a butt kicking. They lost their number 1 receiver. They're kind of backpedaling in the division. You got the victory, which is why you only dropped a little bit here, but it's really hard to put you at number 2, keep you at number 2 and think you're the number 1 team in the AFC when you're playing like that. Now, next week, hopefully you shake it off and you get back there. You are 8-2. That's beyond impressive. But yet again, a lot of shaky games. I mean, you snuck the game against the Eagles. Eagles should have beat you there. And you had a lot of fourth quarter victories. And yet again, are you legit or are you smoking glass? That's where you got to find out. Number 4, you know what? You can't call me a homer. The Eagles were the number 1 team last week in my power rankings. And this week, they played Green Bay. And they didn't look great. Offensively, defensively, kept them to 7 points. Fantastic, great victory. But offensively, I saw you digress. Now Saquon was getting bigger runs, and that big run where he did the spin move and went 41 yards, that set up the pass attack with Smith. So you got that quick strike capabilities, but there's way too many 3-and-outs. And that's going to catch up with you eventually. Like I said, your defense kept you in that game. And then at the end, I know you got to get the ball to A.J. Brown because the guy's a whiny bitch. But still, not a smart play on 4th down. At least run it, or at least do a Goddard. I think it was like 4th and 6. If you're going to do something, at least get it to Goddard, or at least like pass it to Saquon with blockers in front. Don't go for it all there with A.J. Brown in tight-ass coverage, because literally you should be able to run out that clock. Yet again, running it down the middle, we all know what you're doing. Get a little bit more creative. Now, I do admit that you did try to get creative there, getting the ball to Goddard. It got blocked, got knocked down. Okay, I give you that. But, man, the predictability of the offense yet again, there's no mid-range. And Jalen Hurts, yet again, you're winning, and that's all that matters, and I understand that. But, man, that middle of the field, you do not look like a quarterback. You either overthrow them, you're great on the deep balls, but if it's mid-level, you're overthrowing them, or you're checking down way too quick. You got to be more like Josh Allen. Buy some time, look up the field. I never see you, when you decide to run, pull back and throw. I always see you just, okay, I'm running now. Which, yet again, you gain some yards, and that's great. But, like I said, you dropped 3 spots because that performance just makes me question the offense all over again. Yet again, though, That Phillips, that pickup by Howie, that guy was all over Love the entire game. Well done by Howie. Defense looked fantastic. Number 3, I got to give them props, guys. It's the Rams. The Rams are just dominating whoever's in front of them, and that's what you got. That's what I expect the Eagles to do. And that's why the Eagles are behind them, because the Rams at this point are taking whatever team's in front of them and just moving the ball. Stafford should be definitely in the MVP running. He's having a career year in his late 30s. Puka, Adams, the running attack are great. And then the defense, that's what kind of puts them ahead of everybody else. The other was your third, all the other teams behind you, the other 30 teams behind you there is because of that defense. You got it on both sides of the ball. You're going to be dangerous. I hope the Eagles and Tampa Bay don't have to play you guys in the playoffs. Number 2, best team in the conference, New England Patriots, guys. You got to admit, shut up. You got to admit it. They're 1-2, and now they are 8-2. I mean, they're 1-2. Yeah, 1-2, and now they're 8-2. 7 in a row. And some of these games are not pretty. But you know what? They're getting the W's. They basically locked down, the defense locked down Tampa Bay. They could not get anywhere. And now they've got 3 games on the Buffalo Bills. They got this. I'm going to say it. They won the East. They got 5 years later, Patriots are back on top with another superstar quarterback. Drake May is not looking like a second-year player. The slump is not hitting him. He is doing fantastic. I think his problem last year was he needed a viable coach. Mike Vrabel, viable, very good coach. So with that being said, New England, you're the top team in the AFC. You deserve it. And number 1, they passed the eye test, guys. It's the Seattle Seahawks. They passed the eye test. I've been watching their games. 2 weeks ago, we saw them playing against Washington, I believe. And then this week, they beat up on Arizona. They were up 35-7 or something like that before halftime. And they passed the eye test. Offensively, defensively, running attack, passing attack, special teams. All around, they are a great team. And I believe they're 7-2. Meanwhile, so are the Rams. But the reality is, they look better than the Rams. So, Seattle, you deserve that. So, I forgot this last week, guys, and somebody was like, hey, don't you do a graphic at this time? And you know what? You are right. I do a graphic at this time. And that is why I am. Save. And boom. And get rid of that. All right. So there's our rankings here. If you check out the chart there, it gives you preseason rankings and where they were and stuff like that. So once again, guys, in conclusion, the teams that dropped out were the Buffalo Bills, deservingly so. Carolina, I don't know who you are. And Minnesota, I can't put you in there when you're the 4th team in your division, all right? The honorable mentions are the Chicago Bears. Ben Johnson's got them looking good. And the Baltimore Ravens, because they're only 1 game back after going 1-5, they're now 4-5, and they're breathing down Pittsburgh's neck, and it's all Pittsburgh's fault. Number 10, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They dropped down 2 spots just because of the fact that they got to right that ship. They're just not looking great. Number 9, San Francisco 49ers. They went up 1 spot, mainly because I couldn't think of anybody else to put in that spot. Let me know who should have got that spot. Maybe Chicago. Was it one of our honorable mentions, or is there a team I'm completely forgetting about? Number 8, I'm going to give you more respect now, guys. The LA Chargers. They were not even on the list, and they jumped all the way up to number 8. I'm giving you respect now. Number 7, Detroit went up 2 spots. Like I said, they beat the Eagles. They're going to be top 5. Number 6, Indianapolis Colts. They stayed the same there. Just because of the fact that I think they are right outside the top 5. I think that's a great place to put them. Number 5, Denver Broncos. You know what? You dropped 3 spots because smoke and mirrors, guys. You should beat the Vegas. You're winning this division right now. Do not make it so the Chiefs have a chance. Number 4, the Eagles. Offense digressed big time yesterday. I know the Packer defense is good, but the play calling to me, yet again, he went back to week 2. They got to clean that up. Number 3, the LA Rams. You know what? Puka, Dante Adams, and Stafford deserve everything. Number 1 team in the AFC and coming in at number 2 is the New England Patriots. Can you question that? Really? Can you give me a better team? You can't just say the Chiefs. No. There's no better team right now in the AFC than the Pats. And number one, you can flip this with the Rams, but the eye test with Seattle is just amazing. So tomorrow I'm going to be dropping our picks for this is week 10. I'll be dropping the picks for week 11. And once again, guys, if you're watching this, subscribe, brand new channel. I did it last year, but then I canceled it and I brought it back. So I think we had something like 50, 60 subscribers. All that's gone. Trying to build it back up. If you like what we do, let us know. Let me know your thoughts. I'm going to start doing more polls on the channel. But once again, guys, fly Eagles fly. Baker's got to bake. And Buffalo, stop doing what you're doing. Get back to where you're supposed to be. Till tomorrow.